एक बार कारो मालूम हो गया
Assalamu alaikum.
वालेकुम सलाम
Bhuto. मेरी माँ, आपकी बहन, जोन की बेटी, शहीद जमहूरियत, मोहतरमा बेनज़ीर भुट्टो शहीद का एक ही पैगाम था। पाकिस्तान की जमहूरियत अवाम के लिए रोटी का अरकान इल्म रोशनी और काम और एक दिन इंशाअल्लाह उनका ख्वाब सच्चा होगा। We are the party that will make her dream a reality. My mother sacrificed her life for democracy. The people of Pakistan, the People's Party, the People's Parliament, the People's Prime Minister, the People's President saved the Federation, triumphed in the elections, restored democracy, and kicked out that dictator, and fulfilled the first part of my mother's dream. Now we must work to make sure the rest of her dreams come true. Inshallah, one day I too will return and help make her dream a reality. Here, I must ask for your patience. I know some of you are eager for me to enter politics, but I beg you, let me fulfill the promise I made to my mother before I fulfill the obligation I have to my mother's supporters. My mother used to say that the most precious gift a mother can give a child is an education. She taught me that everything can be taken away from you. Your life, your liberty, your property, your wealth, your happiness, anything, but no one can take away your education. I promised her that I would do 2 degrees and I would be doubly qualified to help the poor people of Pakistan. I understand that things have changed and we will wait and see what happens, but I must at least finish this one, and then I promise I'm at your service. Once it is safe and I'm ready, I will return to my motherland and address my mother's supporters in my mother tongue. Although I never thought that I would enter national politics, I always knew that I would campaign for the Pakistan People's Party. Even as a child, I remember, I used to dream of returning home and chanting, politicians must be ready to face that situation first. When people asked her, pleaded with her, they said, think about your children. She said, my children have told me that they're very worried about my safety. I understand those fears. But they are bhutos, and they will face the future with courage. So despite these death threats, she carried on. She refused to be silenced. She refused to be silenced. She refused to stop campaigning for democracy. She refused to stop preaching the real Islam. So the forces of authoritarianism and extremism refused to let her live. They assassinated Shahid bhuto on December 27, 2007. The explosion in Rawalpindi was this evil's declaration. They meant the explosion as a message to the people of Pakistan: death to the bhutos, death to democracy, death to the real Islam, and death to the Federation. To their dismay, Shahid bhuto refused to die! She lives on in the hearts and minds of every single Pakistani who believes in a democratic Pakistan. We have defeated them and restored democracy in Pakistan. Of course, the murderers of my mother have not given up. They began a whisper campaign to suggest that the people they loved the most were responsible for their death. They began a whisper campaign to suggest that the people they loved the most are not loyal to her dreams and desires. Let me tell you, every single member of her real family are fully committed to her ideals. There is not a single member of her immediate family that does not wish that we were in the car instead of her. We shall expose the murders of Muhammad. The UN investigation has begun. To those who moan FIR, 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 either they do not truly respect, or they do not understand the magnificence that was Shahid bhuto, or they are scared of what it will be. If I am killed, then you file an FIR. When Shahid bhuto, our country's only national leader, she was not merely a politician, she was an international phenomenon. She was the first female leader of a Muslim country. She was the world's best hope at defeating extremism. Only an international institution with the auspices of the United Nations can investigate her assassination. No other institution meets our standards. Inshallah, I should expose the individuals who planned, financed, and attempted to cover up her assassination. However, no individual can solely or on their own be held responsible for the assassination of Shahid bhuto. She was a force of democracy, a symbol of hope, a preacher of politics of Islam. No individual could ever in the world. The pawns that killed her died in the explosion that martyred her supporters. But they are not the assassins that I hold solely responsible for the murder of Muhammad. The extremists will betray